Hey everyone, this is Chase at Rocky Mountain ATVMC giving you a closer look at our top 5 mid-level boots for 2019. All right, so if you are boot shopping, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You've got a pretty difficult decision ahead of you at Rocky Mountain. We have a lot of great boots to choose from for different skill levels as well as different price ranges. But in this video today, we want to show you our top 5 mid-level boots for 2019. So if that's what you're looking for, price range on these will be between $200 and $400. Well, this will give you a really good starting point. So I'm just going to go through, talk about each boot that you see up here on the table, cover some of the key features and the highlights that we like about these, and explain why we put them into our top 5. So if you see one you like, when we're all done here, you can watch the individual product spotlights where I talk about each one of these in full detail. But also don't forget that if you're looking for, say, maybe an entry-level boot, a little more affordable, or maybe a premium option, we do have top 5s for those categories as well. So without further ado, let's get it started with boot number 1. All right, so to get started, boot number 1, we've got the GX1 coming from GAERNE. Now with the GX1 fitment, true to size, comfortable boot, nice padding around the ankle area. The toe box is nice and wide, so for riders with wider feet, I think this will accommodate those well. But remember, the GX1, it's an apparel item. This goes for any boot that we sell at Rocky Mountain. We know that fitment and sizing is crucial, and that is why we have our fit guarantee. So if you buy a boot, you're not happy with the sizing or fitment, send it back to us in brand new unused condition. We want to make sure that you get those right, and that is why we give you free shipping both ways on that first exchange. So with the GX1, why do we like this so much? Well, first of all, if you're not too familiar with GAERNE, they're an Italian company, definitely known for their very high quality construction. So the SG12 was their flagship boot. That's a boot that I've spent a lot of time in, so I can tell you from my own experience, the boot is extremely durable. And what I love is that typically with some companies, when they have a mid-level boot, they don't use the materials that are as premium as what they have in their flagship boot, but not with GAERNE. So the GX1, you're getting the same premium leather and plastic that they use on their SG12. So if you're worried about durability, not a concern that I would have with the GX1. Along with that, some other features I like: 4 buckle design, same buckles as the SG12. They are replaceable, so very easy to operate. So one of my favorite buckle designs. And also, big standout here is with their sole. So the GX1 uses a traditional stitched on sole, something that GAERNE is known for. It is replaceable, it has a steel shank, but I know a lot of riders prefer having that stitched on sole versus a bonded. So if that is something that you are looking for, well then the GX1 is going to be a great option. All right, boot number 2, this is the all-new Radial coming from Thor. So this boot is brand new for 2019. This is Thor's first take at a mid-level offering. You can be right around the $250 mark. I have to admit, I'm pretty impressed with what Thor came up with for their first mid-level boot. I think there's a lot of things to like about this. So fitment on the Radial, it's true to size, very comfortable, nice padding around the ankle, plenty of width in the toe box area, but also not going to be as stiff as the GX1 that we just showed you, so it's not going to take as long to break in. But here's some of the features that I really like, especially at this price. So 3 buckle design, the buckles, they work well. They're actually very similar to a Fox buckle if you're familiar with the Fox Instincts or even the COMPR boot, which we will show you, but they do a great job. But what I like is that you're going to have a lateral and medial side hinge on the Radial. So looking at it here, you can see it's this cuff that kind of wraps around the back here. So having that hinge design in that cuff, one, it helps give flexibility to the boot right out of the box, but also what I really like about that is it gives good lateral rigidity to the Radial boot. So if you compare it to the GX1 that we just showed you, I think the Radial is going to have much more lateral rigidity, so a little bit more protection, in my opinion, for the rider's ankle. You're also going to notice here too that they had their hyperextension lockout. So as the ankle's hyperflexing, you're going to see, or excuse me, hyperextending, you're going to have this lockout point here just to help give a little bit more protection. And the last thing that I really noticed, first impressions, was putting this on a very low profile toe box. So being low profile for me, that's really going to help with shifting. So again, around that $250 price point, a lot of cool features built in. This is the Radial coming from Thor. All right, boot number 3, we have got the Tech 5 coming from ALPINESTARS. So the Tech 5 is going to be the baby brother to the Tech 7. It's going to bump up just a little bit in price from that Radial we saw from Thor. But what I like about the Tech 5 is this boot has already proven itself. Easily one of our most popular mid-level boots, and for good reason. A lot of features that we like about these. First thing I will say is with the Tech 5, in my opinion, the most comfortable or the best step in comfort of all the boots that we're going to show you today. So very comfortable right out of the box. They are going to take just a little bit of time to break in, but you still have a good amount of flex. Toe box, plenty of width in there, so for wider feet, you're not going to have an issue. But some other features we like with the buckles. 4 buckle design. Now I talked about that GX1, how much I love their buckles. The Tech 5 with their buckles is going to be the same design as their Tech 10, their flagship boot, and the Tech 7. Easily takes a very solid second place in my opinion as far as buckles go, so very easy to operate. Also, what I like too is looking at the medial side here, you are going to have their biomechanical hinge, so that's going to help with the flex, but also, like with that Thor Radial, really good lateral rigidity with the Tech 5. Now, last thing I want to point out is with their sole. So you do have a replaceable insert, steel shank in the Tech 5 as well. And something that I think the Tech 5s do really well, you can see low profile toe box, that's gonna help with braking and shifting, but also their sole, in my opinion, gives the most feedback on the foot peg. So as a rider, if you like a lot of feedback, like to really feel where your feet are on the pegs, Tech 5 is gonna be a really good option. All right, moving on down the list, boot number 4. This is the COMPR coming from Fox Racing. So I've actually personally spent some time with the COMPR. Price point right about the same as that Tech 5. Fitment is going to be true to size. Now the Tech 5, I mentioned how comfortable it was. COMPR is right there with it, so very comfortable right out of the box. Fitment, or excuse me, toe box, plenty wide for those wider feet. And something that I really enjoy about the fitment on the COMPR is little to zero heel float. And what I mean by that is pet peeve of mine. If you put a boot on, you start to ride, or even just walking, you can feel like your heel is lifting up off the insole. Well, the COMPR does a great job of holding the rider's foot and ankle in place so that doesn't happen. So I really enjoy that about these. Now, very unique design here with the COMPR. You'll notice you've got two lower buckles that are going to be the same buckle design as the Instinct, which is their flagship model. But up here at the top, they use what they call the active lock technology. So rather than having buckles, they use the silicone strap. Now, the silicone strap is adjustable, and with the COMPR, as far as calf opening, I would probably say that this has the largest opening at the top, so for larger legs, wearing knee braces will accommodate those well. But what's cool about this active lock and why it is unique is that by using that, it allows you to have more of a floating shin plate design, so it's not going to bind as the rider, as the boot is flexing. So it's pretty unique that Fox is using that. I think it's a great concept. And also looking at the back, they have their floating cuff design, so that's going to wrap around the back of the boot, so that's going to help aid with the flex. But also you can see you have the hyperextension lockout, also gives good lateral rigidity as well. And last feature I want to point out is with the burn guard that they have on the medial side here. So they use a material called Duratac, same material that they use on their Instinct, again, their premium boot. But what I like about this material is how much grip it gives to the bike. It's something I really like about these. So very good grip. You can see how flat the inside is here, and that's the same material that you're going to get here on the sole as well. So again, very unique with their active lock technology. This is the COMPR boot coming from Fox Racing. All right, so last but not least, we have the X3 SRS coming from SIDI. Now this boot's gonna fall just under that $400 mark. A lot of features to like about this. So fitment's gonna be true to size. Keep in mind that with the X3 is that they're gonna have half sizes on this. So what I would recommend is that if you're right between sizes or not sure, I would go down one half size. So typically I wear size 9, but in the X3 SRS, I would get the size 8.5. So just something to be mindful of. But remember, that's why we have that fit guarantee. But looking at the X3 SRS, what I like about this, first off, is with the construction. So SIDI uses a proprietary material called Techno Micro, which they use in their Crossfire 3 boots. So it's a premium material. And what's nice about that Techno Micro, they say that's going to be more durable than leather. And it's not going to dry out or crack. So you're going to get really good durability with the construction. Looking at it, a lot of hard plastic throughout. You're going to have a 4-buckle design. I like the SIDI buckles. I think they do a very good job. But also, again, coming in at that price, you're going to have a lot of great features here. You're going to have a dual hinge design, so on the medial and lateral side, that allow this boot to have good flex out of the box. It is going to take a little bit of time to break in, but also, again, with that hinge, we've talked about this, gives good lateral rigidity to the rider's ankle. And then looking at the back here, we've seen this with some of the others, you are going to have this hyperextension stop to add a little bit more protection for the rider's ankle. You're going to have removable arch support on the inside. Looking at the sole, though, this is the big feature here that really sets SIDI apart. They have this with their premium Crossfire 3 SRS as well. SRS stands for Sole Replacement System. So what is unique, you can see that you have these screws here on the bottom of the sole. Now we all know there's a lot of boots that have replaceable soles, but in those situations you got to buy the extra sole, then send it to a shoe cobbler, or you have to send your boot off to the company to have it repaired. Well, what SIDI allows you to do is that just with a flathead screwdriver, you can buy a replacement sole, take the one off your boot from your own home, and then just replace it, and you're good to go again. So if you do wear through the sole, the easiest sole replacement system of any boot that you're going to find, and that is what makes these very unique. So overall, again, with the X3 SRS, a lot of cool features built in, but that sole replacement system is definitely what makes these stand apart. All right, so there you have it. Those are our top 5 mid-level boots for 2019. Now remember, if you saw one you like, watch the individual product spotlight. If you guys have a boot that you saw up here today, comment below, let us know what boot that is, what you like about it. And even if you have a boot that you didn't see up here, well, tell us what boot you have and why you think it should be in our top 5. Pick up your next set. It is very simple. Just click on the link at the end of this video or head over to RockyMountainATVMC.com. Orders over $75 ship free. Give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you liked it. That way you stay up to date on the latest gear guides like you saw today, as well as product spotlights and how-to videos that we are constantly filming. I am Chase. We'll see you on the trails.